he asked Vanessa if she feels like she let her husband down, because she did. And then Trash's answer is that every single day she feels that way. And sometimes she feels like she doesn't deserve happiness, while she should feel that way because Trash does not deserve happiness. What is up, Beyond the Gates fans? Happy Monday. I think we are off to a good start this week with the show, which is the first time I can say that in like a month. So that's nice to be able to say. I thought today's episode, which basically revolved around Hayley and Randy, every story thread today went through them, and I thought it was a good episode because of that. Let's talk about it. Hayley had texted Dani that her sunglasses were at the house, and she found them, and she wants Dani to stay out of her and Bill's house. Dani was with Vanessa when she got this text. Vanessa thought that Dani was strategic and placed them there for Hayley to find so Hayley would spiral. But Dani denies it and says it was a happy accident. It wasn't on purpose. Anita overheard this and asked what wasn't on purpose, wanting to know what her daughter Dani got herself into now. Anita sat with Vanessa and Dani told Anita about how her glasses slipped out at Bill's and Hayley found them. And she told Anita she was only there because Hayley kicked Naomi and Chelsea out of the house. And now it looks like Hayley is cheating on Bill. The whole Randy/Sammy side of the story is really starting to help Hayley's plans fall apart. Anita did make me chuckle when she said she needed some food. She needed to eat to be able to drink all this tea that Dani was about to spill. They discussed Hayley and Randy and Sammy. Vanessa was surprised to hear this. Vanessa thought that Dani is reaching. She knows Randy, of course. She said that Randy and Doug grew up together in Philly. Anita then decided to finally tell someone about how she saw the night of the tornado Kyle Abbott and Hayley looking found together, looking like they just both got caught. And I like that that's finally out. You all know I enjoyed those scenes between Hayley and Kyle back in the day. And now with the Young and the Restless new head writing team, I mean, it doesn't start for a while. But Jamie Giddens, who is currently one of the writers on this show, I don't know if he's a breakdown writer or a script writer, but he's now one of the new co-head writers of the Young and the Restless. So I would love to see that Hayley and Kyle crossover even more in the future, if possible. But yeah, Anita told Dani and Vanessa about Kyle and Hayley looking kind of guilty together when she looked at them. Hayley, meanwhile, was looking at Dani's sunglasses that she left. She recalled bickering with Dani and how Dani was calling her out on the optics of her being out while Bill checked himself out of the hospital. First, Hayley got a spa treatment and then she was out drinking. Hayley is upset trying to get a hold of Randy, but Randy was very distracted today. First of all, Mona walked into Orphe Jean's, saw Kat. She asked how Kat and Anita are healing, of course. Mona, a very good friend of the family, works for Nicole and all of that. Then Kat was watching as Mona went and talked to Randy, who was sitting there, and Mona said, "Hello, stranger." This is why Randy was distracted when Hayley was trying to call. Randy was not answering Hayley's phone call, saying it can wait. He wanted to talk to Mona. Randy talked to her about how he is doing better than he was before. He said he had something to do that didn't sit right with his spirit, but he doesn't have to do it anymore. This is very vague dialogue because on one hand, it could be that Randy had to kill Lynette, and now that that's over, he feels better. Or it could mean that Randy thought about killing Lynette, decided not to do it, and maybe they are still scamming Hayley themselves. That was something they discussed before Lynette disappeared. Either way, I still want Lynette to show back up. Mona said that Joey made Randy cross a line and that he doesn't have to do it anymore. Or basically, Mona asked Randy if that's what he meant by his statement. Kat was still watching, texting Chelsea while she was watching. Mona tried to tell Randy that he just needs the courage to have changes in his life. Randy says he has to pay his bills. That's why he has this job with Joey. Mona wondered if Joey would kill Randy if he disobeyed an order, because Randy was talking kind of bleak about his job. But Randy's excuse was that he was just messing with her, wants her to calm down. Mona says he's scared her. Shame on him. I will say these Randy and Mona scenes were better than they usually are. Usually I find them cringe, but there wasn't any like flirting between them today. I felt like it was more of a really serious subject, and it is subject matter on the main storyline with Randy, so that's good. Randy told Mona that she is a nice lady, and ever since his best friend died, aka Doug, he hasn't had anyone to talk to, and that's why he talks her ear off. He says that he will see her around before he leaves, and she says maybe at church, which I also thought was good dialogue. Their scenes work today. Mona has been on a terror trying to save Randy's soul and get him at church and help him find Jesus. When Randy left, Kat asked Mona if Randy is her friend. She says that she is trying to help the man because he works for Joey Armstrong. Kat said that she's just looking out for Mona, but was in a hurry to leave and go spill that information, which we will get to. But Vanessa called Randy, saying they need to talk. So Vanessa and Randy met up. Vanessa asked Randy about his time with Doug and Philly growing up, how they became best friends, how Doug was, I guess, helped by Randy wanting to become a doctor or something. Randy told a story about how he had to protect Doug one time from some sort of bullies, but they also had a gun, and Randy got shot in the process, and Doug was standing over him begging him not to die. And then when he woke up in the hospital, Doug was still by his side, and that's why they were best friends. Randy talked about how he still had guilt over Doug's death. He asked Vanessa if she feels like she let her husband down, because she did. And then Trash's answer is that every single day she feels that way, and sometimes she feels like she doesn't deserve happiness, while she should feel that way, because Trash does not deserve happiness. But Vanessa had a warning for Randy, saying that Joey is not the only powerful man in town, that Bill Hamilton is too. And this was kind of like Vanessa warning Randy that she knows that he's been spending too much time with Hayley. We'll see how Randy does with that warning, since those two are just always meeting in public. Naomi and Chelsea started today's episode talking about how Dani pulling up on Bill wasn't the worst idea, because it did get Bill to come over and apologize to them. But Chelsea still doesn't like the idea that they have to call Bill or Hayley before dropping by. They think that Bill needs someone neutral to talk to. Little did they know that he was talking to Joey. But Chelsea then saw that her reel with Eva went viral. It has over 1 million views, and it probably saved some real lives. I mean, that's crazy. I guess Chelsea really is quite the influencer. If something that boring could get over 1 million views. But Hayley then ended up there to see Naomi and Chelsea. She came over to apologize. Chelsea didn't think her apology was sincere, but she tried to tell them that Chelsea and Naomi are welcome to her home. Kat arrived when Hayley was leaving, which is good, because Kat wanted to spill the tea on seeing Sammy and Randy with Mona. She told them about Randy's connection to Joey. Kat thought that maybe Hayley is working off debt, sleeping with Randy, because Hayley owes Joey a debt. They don't think that Bill is stupid and he would track accounts, but they don't know their own father, because we know that Bill has absolutely no IQ when it comes to Hayley for whatever reason. So they were wrong as usual about their father. But they don't think that Hayley has a gambling problem and owes Joey a debt or something. Chelsea thinks that it could make sense that Randy was just a bodyguard for Hayley after what happened with the mugging. But Kat is talking about her true crime podcast and how there's always 3 different motivations, either love, money, and revenge. And if they don't think it's money, that leaves love or revenge. Could Hayley be in love with Randy and all of that? Which is when Dani showed up. All the girls gathering today. This was like a takedown Hayley meeting for sure. Dani came over with the news of the Kyle Abbott stuff from the tornado, but also about Randy being from Philly, which had Naomi put two and two together, that's where Hayley grew up too. They wonder, well, Kat mostly wondered if Hayley befriending Naomi all those years ago or a couple of years ago was a coincidence or not. Of course, Chelsea and Naomi are doubting and they don't want Bill embarrassed, but like Bill embarrassed himself by having this affair with Hayley in the first place. So hopefully Chelsea and Naomi start listening to Kat and Dani, because I feel like they're going to be the ones driving this investigation. Like I said, Bill stopped by to see Joey. He needed a friendly ear. Joey even gave him some of his favorite liquor to chat with over. And Bill talked about his health and how his tests are good, at least good enough to send him home from the hospital when he's there, but that he still doesn't know what's going on with his health, and it is scaring the hell out of him because Bill is used to being in control. Bill said that he's not afraid of dying, but he's scared to leave things unfinished. And it turns out that Bill wants a favor from Joey. He needs Joey's word that if anything happens to him, Joey will look out for his family. Mona, however, arrived, interrupting this meeting of the minds between Bill and Joey. She came by for a quick game of cards, which surprised both of them. You know, she's such a God-fearing church lady. This was Bill's cue to leave. Joey wanted to know what is at stake for Mona in this game. What is she playing for? Because a woman like her doesn't come by to pass her time in a casino. And Mona told Joey that she is playing for Randy Parker's soul. And Mona did end up winning the card game. I don't know if that was Joey's, trying to get her addicted to gambling or what, but she did win. Mona said she would settle for Joey giving Randy an assignment where she wouldn't have to worry he is heading into damnation and going to hell. But Joey said that Randy is a grown man who makes his own decisions and, taking on his jobs are his own decisions. Meanwhile, Bill and Hayley met up and he thanked her for apologizing to his girls. And she said that she just wants him happy and healthy. And we ended our episode with the line of Hayley telling Bill that she just wants him to have exactly what he deserves. And I find myself agreeing with Hayley that this is what Bill deserves. He does deserve some going down. Does he deserve to die? I don't think so, and I don't think he's going to die, especially with Hayley and Randy kind of unraveling in this episode. Not them necessarily, but like a lot of their secrets, a lot of their lies, a lot of their background together in Philly coming out here. More progress on the Hayley storyline finally. I don't think this is going to be the week where it finally actually climaxes necessarily. But it has to be some really good progress in the story. The only thing missing that would make it so much better is, of course, Lynette. But maybe she will show back up before it's all said and done. I am hoping so. She brought a great energy to the show that's been missing since May, since she's been gone. Nearly 3 months. It's soon going to be 3 months since Lynette's been gone. We'll see if she returns or not. But nonetheless, we did have progress on the Hayley storyline today, and that is a plus.